So now we move to the final open agenda item, which is item 23, decision making for resource consents. Thank you. Welcome to the table. Is there any initial comment on this report by way of introduction?
I think all the councillors recall this. It's been around a couple of years, but essentially what has happened since our last meeting was some amendments to the staff recommendations, and that is around recommendation A is the key one, which is changed to refer applications with a high degree of complexity to a hearings panel.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this for staff? Vicky?
I wonder if the high degree of complexity is the term that we actually want. I understand why you've come up with it, but I just wonder if it's more a high degree of public interest and or complexity or something.
My legal advice is that that would create significant risks for the council process-wise, because public controversy is not a relevant consideration under the
So is this the term that's required under the Act?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? Yanni?
We got a memo around the whole idea of seeking security of costs against community groups, and I just wondered whether that's something that we could adopt a position on or get a report back on.
We can cover that at a later date. Yes, that's around appeals or judicial reviews to the court.
Yeah.
So it's a slightly different matter than what we're considering, but we can have a separate discussion about that.
Is it possible to put a note on that? Because it seems to me if people aren't notified and they challenge it, then they have to go through a judicial process, which can be very expensive and costly, and we should be considering, I think, our policy around that.
I mean, I'm happy to have that discussion at a separate meeting, but I think that's a different discussion.
You know, all I was saying was establishing a process for that to come back to us or for us to have that discussion.
Yeah, okay.
So is there a process for that already underway, or is there something that...
No, there isn't. So it's obviously an issue that's just cropped up on a recent judicial review application, and I think it would be a separate discussion that we can bring back.
It's a matter that presumably the council turned its mind to in approving the delegations register, which establishes delegations for seeking costs in judicial review proceedings and on appeals.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. And then just the other question was, is there any auditing of the commissioners who we appoint? I mean, there's a lot of focus on elected members, and it's kind of interesting that some of those commissioners are people that have written opinions about elected members. But what's the process for us monitoring their performance?
The recommended process in recommendation C is that an audit be carried out, and that audit will cover that decision making, if it by a commissioner or another decision maker. But in answer to your question, there is no specific auditing of commissioners except through the procurement process. So commissioners to get on the panel go through a procurement process where they are thoroughly evaluated.
Right.
And that happens every 3 years, I think.
Is it possible to be more explicit under C that we're not engaging someone that getting someone who is actually independent from having received previous council, I don't know, funding, you know, someone that's seen, but that the community can have confidence is actually independent, not someone who's worked for us.
So not a previous, someone who's been a commissioner
or made decisions on behalf of the city.
Yes, we can do that. That's that can be done. Although these 20 decisions might not be commissioner only, it might be hearings panels, it might be staff, and it could be commissioners as well. So it could be either of those decision makers that are being reviewed as part of those 20, but we can include some of those in the 20.
Thank you. And just a final question was around the judicial process. I think it's really good we audit independent decisions, but are we also looking at getting a report back on High Court decisions or Environment Court decisions and what the learnings are?
Staff do review. There's lots. So staff get sent a case law summary every week. A case law summary reviewing all the recent cases that have come through the courts. Right. Secondly, we run case law training seminars as well. We get that from our own legal services team, and also outside legal firms provide that.
Sorry, I was meaning more the ones where we've been taken to court and the decision's been issued, and then how do we learn from that? How do we improve from that if we're found to be wanting?
So we haven't had a successful, we haven't been in a judicial review situation for many years. We do take the learnings back to what we call our unit meeting after every Environment Court appeal decision. There's not a whole lot of them. There's maybe 1, 2 or 3 a year, so there's not a lot of them.
Thanks.
Thank you. Any further questions? All right, so, Dave.
I was just going to make one suggestion, sorry, if that's right. It's D is a repetition of C, so in the last bit of C is just essentially being repeated in D, so I don't think D is necessary.
So we can remove paragraph D?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do that. And then Dave, you're happy to move this? Do we have a seconder?
Sorry, I just had a final question.
All right, let's get a seconder and then we'll come to your question, Glenn. Jamie will second, okay, and then Glenn will come to your question.
Sorry, it's just over where elected members are part of hearings panels, do they receive remuneration?
Yes, they do.
They do, on top of their existing remuneration?
Yes, one of the few panels that are remunerated.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So this has been moved and seconded. Is there any debate? Is there any debate on this? Yanni.
Thank you. I think it's really good practice to look at what's working well and what's not working well and look to how we can improve. And I think that the whole issue of notification is as much as central government policy, and in particular in Christchurch. I think it's important to note that the government, through the Statement of Expectation and the Order in Council around our district plan review, made that a key legal strategic direction for the city, not through the choice of council, but through the choice of government, that to reduce notification requirements. And I just don't think the community understand that many of the changes to the RMA and what the government has done to our district plan has meant that they get often not notified of things that they might feel is important to them. So I think it's good that we can do this work here to look at how these decisions are being made. So within what little ability we have, we can take the opportunity to look at how we can improve. I do think there's real concern around the community expectation of being involved in decisions, local planning decisions, and the ways in which those planning decisions are being made. And it would be good to start to look at how we can improve that. So I would welcome this, and I look forward to getting the audit. I think we've also been told that 30th June 2020 is like sort of the last date, but that my understanding is there's an indication that staff will work sooner rather than later on getting that first audit to us, and I think that would be really useful.
Thank you. Dave.
Thank you. Look, I'd just like to say to John and his team, thank you for the report. This has actually been ongoing since about October, November 1915. And it's, sorry, 2015.
It's a long time.
Yeah, some of these regulatory things do take a while. But yes, look, it's been on our books now for almost 2 years, I think, and it's gone backwards and forwards. I'm very comfortable with what's before us today, and I'm happy to recommend that it be approved.
Thank you very much. I know council processes can sometimes take a long time, but 1915 is, well, longer ago than I'm able to remember, let alone care to remember. Okay, so I will put the motion. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? That's carried. Thank you, and thanks to staff for the work that's been